Bill Hitchcock. Fantastic program for you. It is time to talk about gator trout, monster trout being caught right now here along the coast of North Carolina. There's one right there. That fish was just caught by Connor Mills on January 7th, 2025. It is 11 pounds and 11 ounces. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about over the past 2 years, we've had a state record speckled trout caught during this time of year, and we've had a world record trout being caught this time of year here along the coast of North Carolina, and more specifically in a very specific area along the inner banks of North Carolina. We're going to be talking about that, and we're also going to be talking about why. I'm going to show you why these trout are so big. One of the reasons why these trout are so big, and it has to do a lot with the cold stun events that we oftentimes have along the coast of North Carolina. We're going to go into detail about that and some fascinating stuff about the cold stuns, and also show you right now sea surface temperatures from the satellite to show you what the temperatures are and where they're going to be. All right, let's get into this. You're seeing this picture here. This is off of Connor Mills. It was January 7th, 2025. He caught, as he wrote, caught a once-in-a-lifetime monster last night. Official weight was 11 pounds, 11 ounces this morning. Was just in the right place at the right time with the right fish. And if I got to stop right there. I have an old saying that a professional fisherman during a tournament, he can catch you more fish, bigger fish. The winning fish is by the grace of God. And thank you, Connor, for saying that. He says, all glory goes to God. I am beyond blessed. And then he says this, I got this off of Facebook. Connor Mills is his name. He said it was caught in the Pamlico Sound. That's the only information we got. He says, if anyone has recommendations for a taxidermist or magazines to try and get it published in, let me know. Go on Facebook, Connor Mills, big fish. Now, I want to go back to 2 years ago, same location. This is, what's this, Carolina Sportsman. Look at that. That is 11 pound, 3 ounce speckled trout. It was caught 2 years ago in December. Kathy Jones of Belhaven didn't break the North Carolina record with her trout, 11 pound, 3 ounces, but she may set a new IGFA world record for females. By the way, North Carolina, in their citation program, they don't designate man or woman. It's just whoever has the biggest fish gets the citation, gets the award. But organizations like the International Game Fish Association, IGFA, they do categorize them into male, female. I will tell you this, and congratulations to Kathy. I went to the IGFA website. I didn't see her name. And all that means is that Bill Hitchcock, when he went to look for it, didn't find it. Doesn't mean it's not there. So if you find it, please let me know. But she caught this off the Pungo River going into the Pamlico Sound. Pamlico Sound again. So that's December 22. That's what was it again? 11 pound, 3 ounce fish. We just had a week ago an 11 pound, 11 ounce fish in the Pamlico. Now the plot thickens. The state record was just set all in the same year of 2022. Let's go to that picture. Let's see, I think I got that. There we go. There's a smiling feller. The North Carolina state record was caught February 14th, 2022. It was a 61-year-old record that was brought, and this was caught with a homemade rod. North Carolina fisherman, let's see, Merritt, a resident of Merritt. His name is Todd Spangler. Caught the giant trout on February 9th, 2022, near the mouth of the Neuse River in Pamlico County. The prior speckled trout record was set in 1961 in Wrightsville Beach at 12 pounds, 4 ounces. Now, all of these fish that we have talked about were caught in the Pamlico Sound, Pungo River, where was he? In the mouth of the Neuse River. This is the map. I'm showing you a map right now. Here's the general vicinity that December, January, and February that these monster trout have been caught. By the way, it may note that Kathy caught her speckled trout with peanut shad, little menhaden. That was in December, so congratulations to her. 2 years, 3 monster trout, 1 possible world record, 1 definitive state record. And you may recall in prior shows over the past week or so, 2 weeks, that we've been talking about places like in Atlantic Beach. Chasing Tails was having a speckled trout tournament where you catch and release live the speckled trout. And consistently 6, 7 going on to 8-pound trout are being caught. So it's a great time of year for speckled trout fishing. Let's get into what I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I got this handy. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Seawater surface temperatures. This was taken January 13th, 2025. You can see beach side that the cold water is wrapped around or starting to wrap around the Point of Hatteras. That'll go all the way down to Ocracoke. You can see out to the 100 fathom, 20 fathom to 100 fathom warm Gulf Stream waters. You can see, once again, we've talked about this before, the warmest waters oceanside during the wintertime, January, February, and March, is in between the Point of Hatteras and Cape Lookout, and you can see it there. That warm waters will come all the way to the beach. But let's go into Pamlico Sound, where all 3 of these monster fish, state records, world records, and just big old fish are being caught. Look at that. That water temperature is in the 40s, low 40s, and it will get cooler as it goes into February. February traditionally is our warmest month along the coast of North Carolina. Shouldn't be any different this year. So the speckled trout fishing is happening there. Now this is what I want to talk about. A lot of us are familiar with the cold stun events that we oftentimes happens here, well, everywhere coastal, to be quite honest with you, but we have not had a cold stun event along the coast of North Carolina for a number of years, and this is one of the reasons why trout are getting bigger. And yes, more. And I've got to throw in, once again, I did it, the speckled trout, recreational speckled trout fishermen here in North Carolina, their catch and release rate is something like 75% or more over the past 20 years. So kudos, congratulations to the recreational fishermen along the coast of North Carolina. But the cold stun event, when it gets cold, freezes up, and for an extended period of time, fish can't handle it, they'll die. Now, I got this from the Division of Marine Fisheries. It's a study called Eternal Guidelines for Adaptive Management for Cold Stun Closures. It came out December 14th, 2016. A couple of little highlights just to keep in mind. They're talking specifically speckled trout right here. It says fish lost equilibrium at average critical thermal temperature of 38.4 degrees. So when the water gets 38.4 degrees on average, the speckled trout lose their equilibrium. Have you ever seen a fish in the water kind of catawampus like that? Or maybe just kind of floating and going down like that? Well, unfortunately, he's not too far away from dying because the average temperature of mortality is 37.5. So almost 1 degree difference. 1 degree, they're dead. From equilibrium, they're stunned, to they're dead. Salinity, I find this interesting, by the way, did not have a significant effect on survival within each of the temperatures, but survival across all the temperature treatments was different. All fish exposed to 37.4 degree water did not survive after 2 days. 2 days in that temperature, that's it. With an estimated 50% mortality survival after 1 day. So once the water temperature hits 37.4 degrees, 1 day, there's 50% of them gone. 2 days, they're gone. And basically, if you go, well, how come it just seems to be speckled trout? Well, and here's one of the reasons why. Speckled trout are in the backwaters, in the creeks, in these off little feeder creeks and all. During the wintertime, they try to go to the deepest waters as possible when it starts getting cold, but you don't ever hear about drum. Why? Well, drum migrate out. They're east-west fish, by the way. The drum we catch here in North Carolina don't migrate north-south. They go east-west. During the wintertime, they're heading on out to the ocean. They're out in front of Hatteras and out in front of Ocracoke. And you know that it's happening when the great drum run happens in like October, November, December. They're there on the beaches because they're heading on out to the open sea. And then once the seasons change in the spring, they turn tail and go right back on, literally turn tail, and go back on into the sound. So that's why you don't hear about drum. But it's also the same areas, keep this in mind, in the hottest points of the year, like August, September, when the waters in the Neuse River or off the Neuse River, Pamlico Sound, and those back creeks get up to literally 100 degrees. there's no dissolved oxygen, and fish such as menhaden in little spots, there's always little fish, get trapped back there. They have no oxygen, they suffocate, and they die. The opposite happens during the wintertime. It gets too cold. There's a lot of dissolved oxygen, but once, as we just found out, it hits that 37.5 degrees, you got a day, 50-50 chance, 2 days, you're dead. So anyway, head on out. Head out in the Pamlico Sound area. I know the crowd in Merritt and Stonewall, everybody's hating me right now. Paradise Shores. No, Bill, don't tell them to come here. Well, this is the time of year for it. And I will leave you with this. If you're not familiar with speckled trout fishing during the wintertime, fish get real lethargic, as you would think. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone talk about the big fish, the big trout they caught during the wintertime, that they initially thought they were caught on the bottom because the fish took it and he's just sitting there. Big old fish just sitting there. So just keep that in mind. If you have any pictures that you'd like to send in to us, email me, send them at email, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. Anything that you'd like to convey to us or any subject matter you would like for us to cover, please give me an email or post it there at YouTube. I'm Bill Hitchcock. Until next time, see ya.